Today I'm going to talk about bad homeworks and good homeworks. It's been more than, I think, longer than 15 years since I started to learn foreign languages by myself as a student, and also it's been like, I don't know, more than 8 years or something since I started to teach not only Japanese but other languages as well as a teacher. And I noticed that, of course, this is something that everyone has different opinions or comments about. But there are negative homeworks and positive homeworks. So in this video, homeworks that regarding language learning, right? So in this video, I'm going to talk about bad homeworks and good homeworks. So one of the examples of bad homeworks is that it's such an homework that finishing the homework is the main goal or main purpose of the homework. You know what I mean? When I was 6 in Japan, when I was living in Japan, 6 to 12 years, 6 to 12 years in elementary school, we had such an homework in which we had to write a lot of kanji, Japanese writings, one of the writing systems coming from Chinese characters. And it was so boring that the writing and finishing the homework was the main purpose or goal of that homework. And I would write the Japanese characters so many times, but since I wrote the kanji, the Japanese characters, unconsciously and so automatically that the new information or knowledge didn't really come to my brain or memory. So it was very passive, it was very boring. At the same time, it was a waste of time, I would say, because I couldn't learn anything from the homework. So also kind of wasting my losing my motivation as well. So it was I think one of the bad example of bad homeworks. And also there's another example of bad homework, which is such a homework that without that you don't know how to and what to study. For example, when I was teaching Japanese 8 years ago, I don't really like homeworks, but I really wanted to kind of encourage my students to study and improve their Japanese language levels. I would give a lot of homeworks, but not like textbooks exercise or something that I made based on my language learning experience or something. And as far as I felt, my students really loved it. But of course, after I finished the job, teaching Japanese, so for that time, of course, they changed the teacher, and they didn't know how to and what to study about without the homeworks, without me saying what to do, telling what to do. So it's like they were so depending on the homeworks that without the homeworks they don't know how to study and what to study about. And language learning in general takes a lot of time, and basically it's something that you have to study by yourself, with your initiative. It's not something that other people tell you to study or something, because it needs a lot of investment of time, of energy, and sometimes, like in most of the cases, money as well. Taking the classes and stuff, right? So I recon that such a homework without which people don't know what to do is one of the example of bad homeworks. And so then, what is a good example of good homeworks? I think one of the good homework is such an homework that you would do that with your motivation, with your initiative, very ideally, I would say. And at the same time, it would lead to your future as well. One of the examples from my experience is that when I was a university student back in Japan, in the English language classes, I had like writing journal homeworks or something like every day. I hated it at the time, but I feel very appreciated when my professor, my lecturer gave it to me. It was such a homework that technically I would read news articles in English, right? And summarizing the content of the news articles about anything. You can just read any topics in the news articles, right? Politics or economy or society or culture or something. But you summarize the news articles in A4 page, like half of the A4 page or something, and then also putting your own opinions or commentaries. I hated the homework at the time, but looking back from now, I feel very appreciated because that's what I'm doing now. Every single day when I wake up, reading the news article is one of the morning routine, and without this, I cannot start my day. By the way, I read news not only in Japanese, which is my mother tongue, but I also read news in English, Georgian, Russian, Spanish, French. It's some kind of daily, regular way of practicing and training my foreign languages levels. And also through that, I can get the new information and new knowledge. Since I read a lot of different kinds of news articles from different kinds of media about politics, about economy, international relations, local news, etc., etc. Every single time when I feel kind of interested and curious about, I would just look it up and kind of do a little bit deeper research on, which can be a part of my knowledge in general for my brain. So yeah, I would say this is one of the good homeworks that I had, and I'm teaching Japanese now at the university, and I personally don't like to give a lot of homeworks, but this is the only homework that I give to my students at this moment. Hopefully would provide a good results for my students in the future. But yeah, so yeah, in this video I talked about bad homeworks and good homeworks. I'm pretty much sure that everyone does have different kinds of opinions in comments. So please feel free to leave your commentaries in the commentary sections, and I will be very happy to read your commentaries and opinions. So yeah, today is just very much it. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Abahe. Mezune bazam.